The exploration vessel Ardent Path drifted into the quiet space surrounding the Verthal star system, its silver hull glowing faintly under the pale light of the twin moons. Inside the ship, every human aboard felt the same mix of excitement and fear. The Verthal were one of the oldest known star civilizations, respected by some and avoided by many. Their silence was famous, their patience legendary, their anger rarely seen but often remembered in history. Lieutenant Mara Solen, communications specialist, stood near the main viewport, her hands folded behind her back as she watched the blue-white planet of the Verthal rotate below. She was only 30, but her achievements in alien semiotics were already known across the Terran fleet. Yet now she felt strangely small. "First time seeing an energy-speak culture up close?" Commander Hale asked, stepping beside her. Mara nodded. "I've studied their patterns for years, but studying is different from meeting them. Words can't really prepare you for something no human senses naturally." The commander's eyes softened. "You'll do fine. They chose to meet us. That alone means something." Mara wished she believed that as strongly as he did. The Verthal were cautious beings. For centuries, their silent diplomacy had shaped treaties, ended wars, and built peace, sometimes through complete withdrawal when misunderstandings grew too deep. They spoke not with sound, gestures, or written symbols, but through subtle changes in ambient energy fields, a kind of emotional vibration that their species sensed naturally. To humans, however, the fields felt like nothing. Machines could barely read them. Translating them was almost impossible. Almost. Mara straightened her posture as the ship's intercom activated. "Diplomacy team, prepare for descent," the pilot announced. Humanity's first official contact with the Verthal in over 200 years was about to begin. The shuttle glided down into the wide crystalline landing bay on the planet's surface. A soft shimmer rolled across the ground. An energy scanning field, harmless but curious. Mara felt a slight tingling on her skin, like a gentle static brush. Around her, the rest of the team whispered among themselves, but Mara stayed quiet. She tried to sense anything, any hint of emotional vibration, but the air remained still. A line of Verthal representatives waited. They stood tall and slender, their forms made of a pale, luminescent material that looked like living crystal. Their eyes glowed softly, and the faint ripple in the space around them hinted at their silent voices. Commander Hale stepped forward and gave a respectful bow. "Representatives of the Verthal, thank you for welcoming our people." The translation device hummed, converting his words into a soft pulse of energy. The Verthal waited a moment, then responded with a slow wave of shimmering light. The device interpreted, "Welcome with caution. Your intentions are yet unknown." Mara watched carefully. The translation felt stiff, lifeless. The machine picked up only surface meaning, not tone or nuance. With a species whose entire communication was layered emotion, missing the nuance meant missing the entire message. The humans were led into a large hall made of smooth crystal walls that seemed to glow from within. No chairs, no symbols, no decorations, just open space filled with soft, shifting light. Mara walked behind the diplomats, scanning everything. The air tasted metallic, faintly cold. The energy signatures felt irregular, like waves that didn't know where to crash. She wondered if that was normal or a sign of tension. One Verthal stepped forward. Its glow was deeper, warmer, perhaps a leader. The translator hummed again. "We greet you, but do not yet trust your purpose." Commander Hale nodded calmly. "We understand. We come with peaceful intentions." The moment he finished speaking, the air changed. The Verthal lights dimmed slightly. The translator struggled for several seconds, then produced a confused interpretation. "Peace is a word without weight. Explain its shape." The diplomats exchanged uneasy looks. How do you explain peace to a species that didn't think in verbal concepts? Tension grew. Mara could feel it. Not through energy fields, but through instinct. Humans were good at reading a room even without alien senses. And right now, the room felt like a stretched wire ready to snap. One diplomat tried to clarify. Peace means no harm, mutual benefit, cooperation. The translator delivered the message. The Verthal shimmered again, this time sharper, almost like a spike. The reply came through the device. Cooperation requires equal understanding. You do not feel our words. You only hear shadows. Mara stepped forward slightly. Commander, request permission to speak? Hale blinked but nodded. Go ahead. Lieutenant. She approached slowly, stopping several meters from the Verthal leader. Her heartbeat thudded loudly in her ears, but she kept her voice steady and calm. My name is Mara Solen. I study communication, not only with machines, but with people. She took a slow breath. We know your language is more than energy. It is emotion, intention, harmony. We don't sense it naturally, but we want to understand. The Verthal remained still, their lights shifting without pattern. The translator struggled again, picking up fragments of meaning. Human, intent, unknown, try, risk. Mara took one more step forward. I won't pretend I can feel your words, but I can listen to your silence, if you allow it. Something subtle changed. The room didn't brighten or darken, but the air felt different, like a breath being held. Mara closed her eyes. She didn't know what she expected. Maybe nothing at all. But after a moment, a strange sensation brushed against her thoughts. It wasn't sound. It wasn't a feeling in her skin. It was deeper, like a quiet emotion touching the edge of her awareness. A soft pulse, warm and cautious. She gasped, not because it hurt, but because it felt kind. Her eyes opened. The Verthal leader's glow had turned calm and steady. No spikes, no chaotic shimmer. For them, it was the equivalent of a gentle nod. The translator interpreted, You felt a fraction. This is impossible. No human has ever felt our resonance. Mara didn't know what to say. She hadn't done anything special. She had only tried. Commander Hale stepped forward with a look of astonishment. Lieutenant Solen. What happened? Mara shook her head. I don't know. I just listened. The Verthal murmured in their energy language again. The device translated slowly. A human who listens to silence is rare. We will not end the meeting. We will continue. It wasn't full acceptance. It wasn't trust. But it wasn't rejection. And for a species known to end diplomatic relations at the smallest misunderstanding, choosing to continue was a monumental step. The human diplomats exchanged relieved glances. Mara felt her chest loosen as tension eased from her shoulders. But not everyone felt comfort. Several alien observers, other species invited as witnesses, whispered among themselves. Some feared what this new connection could mean. Others envied it, and some simply did not believe it. Still, the Verthal leader turned its calm glow toward Mara once more. The translator spoke softly. We will test this connection. Humans may hold possibilities not seen before. Mara swallowed hard. Possibilities, or danger. Whichever it was, she had become the center of it. News of Mara. Solen's strange connection with the Verthal spread through the ardent path within hours. Some crew members celebrated, calling it a breakthrough for human diplomacy. Others were uneasy, whispering that no human should have been able to sense an alien emotional field. Even the ship's scientists argued late into the night about how such a thing could be possible. But Mara slept little. Every time she closed her eyes, she felt that faint, warm pulse again, like a memory she didn't quite understand. It wasn't painful or frightening. It was gentle, curious, as if someone far away was waiting for her to return. Morning came with a soft blue glow filtering through the ship's panels. Mara dressed quickly and joined the diplomatic team on the shuttle pad. Commander Hale nodded to her with a mixture of pride and worry. "Ready?" he asked. Mara managed a small smile. "As ready as I can be." They descended once again to the crystal-like halls of the Verthal. This time the air felt different, less tense, more expectant. The Verthal leader, now identified by the translator as Seiren, stood at the center of the hall. His glow was steady, warm, almost welcoming. The translator pulsed. "Human Mara. Approach." Mara stepped forward. Seiren's glow brightened slightly. A soft wave of energy spread through the room, gentle and slow. Mara felt a faint pressure in her chest, then a sense of calm settling over her. She closed her eyes, letting herself feel. The pulse grew clearer, like a steady emotion without words. Interest, curiosity, a hint of cautious respect. When she opened her eyes, the room was silent. Every diplomat, every alien observer watched her like they were witnessing something impossible. The translator spoke. "Your mind touches resonance though you are not of our kind. This has never occurred." Mara swallowed softly. "I'm only trying to understand." Seiren shimmered, and the translator processed the reply. "Understanding is not easy, but we accept your attempt." It was the closest thing to praise the Verthal had offered. As the diplomatic session continued, the atmosphere shifted. Conversations that had been stiff now moved with cautious ease. The Verthal still communicated mostly through their shifting lights, but they began adjusting their energy patterns to be easier for humans to detect through sensors. Mara stayed quiet, observing, occasionally stepping in when misunderstandings rose. Each time she focused, she felt the faint resonance again, like Seiren was reaching out, guiding her gently. Hours later, as the session ended, Seiren stepped toward Mara alone. His glow dimmed and brightened in a slow pattern. The translator hesitated before speaking. "A task requires you. A place where our energy fades. We cannot go alone." Commander Hale frowned. "What does he mean?" Seiren turned toward him. "A fractured moon affects our resonance. Without balance, we cannot communicate or sense emotion. It threatens us, it threatens all." Mara stepped forward. "You want help?" "Yes. Mara must come. Your kind can endure the distortion. Ours cannot." The diplomats exchanged uneasy looks. Going off-world with an alien envoy on a potentially unstable moon wasn't part of the plan, but refusing could damage the fragile trust forming between humans and Verthal. Mara took a slow breath. "I'll go." Commander Hale hesitated but nodded. "We'll send a small team. You won't go alone." But Seiren's glow pulsed sharply. "Only Mara can feel. Only she can guide us. Others may observe but not interfere." Hale looked troubled, but Mara's voice was steady. "It's okay. I'll handle it." The shuttle ride to the fractured moon was quiet. The moon's cracked surface glowed with unstable light, pulsing like a heartbeat gone wrong. Distortion waves rippled through space around it. Mara stepped off the shuttle with Seiren at her side. Immediately her chest tightened. The air felt thick, heavy with static. A low hum vibrated through her bones. "What is this place?" she whispered. The translator buzzed. "The fracture. Our resonance fails here. We cannot feel each other. We cannot feel ourselves." Seiren's glow flickered wildly. His body seemed to lose its shape for a moment, like a candle flame pushed by wind. Mara quickly moved beside him. "Hey, focus on me. I'm here." A soft pulse touched her mind, confused, strained, unstable. She reacted instinctively, not through training but through raw human empathy. She placed her hand near his arm. She didn't know if he could feel touch, but the gesture felt right. "Breathe," she whispered. even though she knew he didn't breathe like humans. "Stay with me." The flickering slowed. Saren's glow steadied slightly. "Your presence." "Anchors." "Emotion," the translator stuttered. Mara blinked in surprise. "I'm anchoring you." A faint, warm pulse. Agreement. She looked around. The fractured moon's ground shone with broken lines of energy, each one unstable and chaotic. It was like standing in the middle of a shattered lightning storm. "What do we have to do?" she asked. "Stabilize the field. Humans have many machines, but this requires intent." Mara frowned. "Intent?" "Emotion guides the resonance. Your kind is strong with emotion, loud, bright. You must use it." Mara stared at the swirling cracks of energy. How was she supposed to use emotion to stabilize an alien energy field? But she remembered the first time she felt Saren's resonance, how she had simply listened. She remembered the calm pulse that followed. Maybe it wasn't about technique. Maybe it was about sincerity. She stepped to the center of the crack. The hum grew louder, almost painful. Her head throbbed, her heart hammered. "Mara!" Commander Hale's voice echoed from the shuttle's edge. "Be careful!" But she lifted one hand. "It's okay. I think this is why I'm here." Closing her eyes, she focused on her breathing. Then she thought of home, of Earth's blue sky, of her mother's laughter, of her younger brother teasing her, of the moment she first saw the stars through a telescope as a child. Warm emotions, love, hope, determination flowed through her, and the fractured energy responded. The cracks shifted, their violent pulses slowing, then softening. The hum reduced. The moon's surface glowed steady and quiet. Saren stepped beside her, his glow perfectly calm for the first time since arriving. "Your emotion is clear, loud. It resonates with balance." Mara exhaled shakily. "I just thought of things that make me feel good." "Goodness is powerful." The translator paused. "Your kind feels with strength. We have never understood this." Mara smiled faintly. "Humans are messy, but we care deeply." A warm pulse responded. She knew it was Saren, and she knew he was grateful. As they prepared to leave, alarms suddenly blared on the shuttle. Commander Hale shouted from the radio. "Mara, we've got incoming! A rival species warship jumped into orbit! They're heading your way!" Mara froze. "Rival species? Why?" "Probably to control the fractured moon," Hale replied. "Its unstable energy affects every race in this region. Whoever controls it controls communication networks." Saren's glow dimmed sharply. "Their arrival endangers us all." Mara clenched her fists. "What do we do?" "We fight," the translator said, but the Verthal couldn't fight alone, not without their resonance. Saren turned toward her, his light steady but urgent. "We must work together. Human emotion and Verthal resonance, combined, it is the only way." Mara felt fear rise, but she also felt something stronger. Determination. She nodded firmly. "Then let's do it." And as the warship's dark shadow fell over the fractured moon, Mara and Saren stood together, two beings connected not by words but by something far deeper. Something neither species had ever imagined. The enemy warship hung over the fractured moon like a dark shadow, swallowing the light. Its hull was rough and jagged, built for intimidation more than beauty. Red lights pulsed across its sides, glowing like angry eyes. Even from ground level, Mara could feel the threat it carried. The shuttle crew's alarmed voices broke through the radio. "Multiple weapons charging! They're locking onto the moon's surface. Commander Hale, what are your orders?" Inside the chaos, Mara stood beside Saren, both staring at the sky. Her heart pounded hard, but she forced herself to breathe slowly. Panic would only make things worse. Saren's glow flickered, not from fear alone, but from the unstable energy field still recovering under their feet. Mara. Hale's voice cut through the static. Get to the shuttle, we need to evacuate you before they fire. She looked at Saren, whose form was trembling. No, she answered firmly. If we leave now, the moon will fracture again, the energy field will collapse, and the Verthal will lose their resonance forever. Hale hesitated. We can't risk your life. You can, she said softly. Because this isn't about me. It's about all of us. Before the commander could reply, Saren stepped forward. His light dimmed, then steadied as he spoke through the translator. The human speaks truth. If we retreat now, many will suffer. Resonance will die. Communication across the region will break. We must stand. Mara lifted her chin. We'll fight together. The enemy ship sent down a wave of energy. The moon's surface shook violently. Cracks lit up again, bright and unstable. Mara stumbled, but Saren steadied her with a faint pulse of reassurance. Mara! Commander Hale shouted. Incoming strike, move! But she didn't move away. Instead, she braced her feet and stretched one hand toward the ground. Just like before, she closed her eyes and gathered her emotions. Not just calm this time, not just hope. She summoned courage, determination, the fierce human instinct to protect. Warmth spread through her chest. The ground responded instantly. The unstable cracks softened again, glowing steady instead of wild. Saren added his own resonance, matching her calm with his clarity. Their combined energy spread outward like ripples across water. Resolve. Strong. Human emotion is a shield. The translator pulsed in surprise. Another shockwave hit the moon. The cracks trembled, but held. Mara opened her eyes and stared at the sky. We can't just defend, we need to send a message back, something strong. Agreed, Saren pulsed. But how? Humans had emotion. Verthal had resonance. Together they needed something powerful, loud enough to reach space, clear enough to confuse or deter an enemy warship. Saren stepped closer, their lights mingling faintly. If you feel and I resonate, we may create a wave strong enough to interrupt their systems. Mara nodded slowly. Like an EMP, but emotional? Yes. A resonant strike. She swallowed. What emotion do we need? Truth, intent, unity, and strength. You must feel with no doubt. Mara closed her eyes again, but this time, instead of gentle memories, she focused on what she felt now. The fear of losing peace, the anger at an unprovoked attack, the responsibility of representing humanity, the value of the bond she'd formed with Saren, the fierce desire to protect not just her own people, but everyone standing on this moon. Her emotions lit up inside her like fire. The ground vibrated. The cracks glowed brighter than ever, steady, controlled. Saren extended his glow to her. And for the first time, Mara felt it fully. Not just a faint pulse, but a clear, bright resonance, a calmness filled with purpose. Their energies linked, a single unified field surrounded them. And then, they released it. A wave of invisible force shot upward into space. It wasn't violent, it wasn't destructive, it was powerful in a different way, pure intention shaped into energy. The enemy warship reeled. Its red lights flickered as systems overloaded. Panels on its underside sparked violently. Crew scrambling inside could be heard through intercepted transmissions. Unknown interference. Shields failing. Our guidance system is crashing. The massive ship tilted, losing control. Mara held her breath. Is it enough? Saren's glow flickered. Wait. The ship regained partial balance, engines burning hot. It's not stopping, someone shouted through the radio. The warship aimed its cannons again, directly at Mara and Saren. Mara felt her stomach drop. We need another wave. No, Saren pulsed. We need something else. His glow turned sharp and bright. Call your ship, call your people. We must unite our signal with theirs. Humans, Mara whispered. You want to link with humans in space? Yes. Your kind feels stronger when not alone. Your emotion multiplies. We must use that. Mara activated her wrist communicator. Ardent Path, this is Mara Selen. We need the whole crew, everyone, to focus on one thing. Holding the line. Think it. Feel it. Because we're about to send a signal. Commander Hale answered with tension in his voice. Everyone, are you sure this will work? It has to, she said. Within minutes? The ship confirmed. All human personnel ready. Mara closed her eyes. She imagined her entire crew standing behind her, not physically, but emotionally. Humans were good at something alien species underestimated. They united fast in a crisis. She felt it, a wave of human determination coming from orbit. Saren felt it too. So many emotions. Powerful, unpredictable, beautiful. Together they released the second wave. The sky exploded with white light, not destructive, just overwhelming. A resonant pulse hit the enemy warship. Its cannons died instantly. The engines cut out. The ship drifted, powerless. Inside the moon's atmosphere, the light faded, leaving only silence. The warship, defeated and unable to continue fighting, retreated into warp, leaving the system entirely. Cheers burst from the shuttle crew. Commander Hale's voice filled the radio. Mara, you did it! The whole ship could feel something, like a heartbeat hitting us all at once. Whatever you and the Verthal did, it worked. Mara let out a breath she didn't know she was holding. Her knees trembled and she sank to the ground. Exhaustion washed over her, but she smiled. Saren's glow dimmed softly beside her, but with a warmth that felt like gratitude. Together. We spoke without words, our hearts, and your hearts, united. Mara smiled faintly. Yeah, we did. The next day, peace talks resumed, not tense, not strained, but filled with genuine hope. Every species that had witnessed the events on the fractured moon now knew something powerful. Humans and Verthal could connect on a level no one expected. Mara stood beside Saren in the Crystal Hall as new diplomatic agreements were discussed. The Verthal declared the fractured moon a protected zone for all species, and they invited humans to help maintain its stability. For the first time in their ancient history, the Verthal created a shared symbol, a glowing dual-layer crest that only revealed its full pattern when viewed by both humans and Verthal together. A symbol of unity, born from silence, strengthened by emotion. Saren turned to Mara. His glow shimmered softly. What we did will be remembered. Mara nodded. And it's only the beginning. Yes, Saren pulsed gently. Our hearts spoke in silences that words could never translate. She smiled, feeling the faint pulse of resonance again, a quiet connection that needed no language. Humanity had done something remarkable. Not because they were the strongest, not because they were the smartest, but because they felt deeply, and they listened even deeper. And across the silent stars, that made all the difference.